Greetings, travelers. Welcome to Building by Eye. I'm DG Squared, and today I'd like to show you my methods on how I like to build stairways and staircases using your eye and pillites. So this method entails glitch building and the Blender glitch specifically. We're going to be showing you a few of these methods here. I've got some straight staircases and some spiral staircases with both separating glitches, or glitching separators rather, and the capillary shells. So we're going to move through this fairly quickly here. Notice my spacing on this straight staircase, how I've got the lines lined up here. Just below the center line of that pillite is how I've got this, and they're all right next to each other. And this gives us a nice short radius or short base of a angle that meets floor, one floor height and one wall length in length, and it'll fit just about any structure as any normal set of stairs would. This one here is a little bit longer, and you can see I've extended the distance between my pillites as well, and also they are also lined up slightly differently, where I've got the middle of the line on the pillite lined up with the top of the line of this next pillite here, and that's to extend the length of my angle of my staircase. Depending on what kind of build that you're looking for, there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. So without further ado, let's get started with the building. Okay, so we're going to quickly throw on a couple of these glitches here. Let's find our separators. And we're going to glitch them on seamlessly. So I'm going to talk while we work here. You want to find the center of your last glitching separator, which is here. And then we're going to glitch to the next one in line, and that is the next one. So this is how you find out where you left off, because it can get confusing with all those points. There's our center. That's the next one in line. See it? Good. Okay. And you'll also notice that as I'm merging with the floor here, if you look at the glitch point, it lines up with the center of the floor. And that is where we want that last glitch point to line up with, so that the stair meets with the floor. And that way you have a seamless run on your glitch. Let's do these ones too. Okay, and that also lines up perfectly and even comes through the floor just a little bit. See? There are situations where you may not be able to remove your floor, in which case I would recommend using your pillite upside down so that you can get deep inside. If you have it right side up, you'll find it flops and you won't be able to get your floor to run all the way down, or your stair to run all the way down to the floorboard. By flipping it upside down, you can poke it right underneath and get whatever height that you need. The height that we're looking for is this particular one here, and that lines up when you hold the glitch point. You can see it's just below the center of the floor, and it will line up nicely. So let's go ahead and throw those on. I need my glitches. There we go. Finding the center point again, and then going one right off of it. Go, and even that one looks like it's probably pretty good, but we'll do one more just to be safe. And there we go. Okay, and that leads to a smooth transition on and off the floor, as you can see. smooth up and down. This one here is a little bit different. We've got a spiral staircase, and the pill lights are situated very much the same, only around a cylinder. And I use the cylinder for one reason, and that is because it gives me a predictable rotation on the pill lights. Every time you move it across, the pill light will flop to a new position, giving you a predictable turn for each one of your glitching separators. Again, same spacing in terms of height. So if you notice, I've got the lines lined up with just slightly above the center line, and that is so that you have headroom to walk underneath the glitching separators when you move up and down your stairs, so that they're still fully functional. And that I can show you right here really quickly. Let's pull up our lights. Okay, and you can see here, if we look really closely, that seam is what I'm using to line up my lights. Just below that seam. So between that seam and the line is where I want the bottom line of my next pill light to go. Okay. And what we're looking for is the flop. So there's the seam. Move it across until you find the flop. Okay. When it flops, lay your light. Look for the seam. See it? Wait for the flop. Place. Look for the seam. Flop. And that is a predictable way of spacing out your lights so that, let's light them up so you can see it just a little bit clearer, so that you can very easily find the glitch point or the spacing needed for the proper glitch point so that your stairs are functional. See how that seam there? That's what you're looking for. And that'll give you what you need for your spacing. We have another form over here, and this is a grand staircase, much wider. Let's go into photo mode for this. Okay, so you can see I've got pill lights all the way around it, and each pill light is next to each other, almost touching. And again, I've got the pill light. I wanted it nice and tight and close, so I want a smaller height differential between my glitching separators, and so instead of going for that seam, I'm using the lines on the pill lights themselves. So each line lines up with the top of the next light in place, so top to the center line, top to the center line, all the way up, all the way across. And this is the best scenario because you'll notice here this little gap each time. The prefab, like the what do you call it there, the cylinders, has that flop effect, and each time it flops it creates that difference in corner, which makes it hard to fix. And so what you'd want to do is you want to put down, another smaller object after removing your scaffolding and try and close that gap. That's a bit of an aesthetic thing, and I'll leave that up to you viewers whether or not you think it's worth it to actually go through with that. That is the easiest way to deal with a gap like that, although it still works very seamlessly, and you can feel, let me go into regular because I can't walk. It still works pretty seamlessly. You can still walk up. The difference is aesthetics. Okay, and so from there we've got this one. And this one I've already pre-designed here for you, and it's all ready to go so that I can show you the last few steps to make this work. So what we've got here is pipes all the way around a cylinder, and then I've removed the cylinder and replaced it with a pipe so that it floats in the center. I have to build out and create scaffolding so that I have glitch points to put my capillary shells onto, because the capillary shells act a little bit differently, and the base is where we want the outside to go. And so what I've done is I painted wires on the inside of each outer pipe that I've placed along the row here. So you can see we've got a couple little things to finish up. I need to put my floors back because in order to paint my wires and get these pipes in place, I had to remove a couple of floors. So without further ado, let's get those floors removed or put back in, and we can remove these pipes because I have already painted wires on them. Okay, let's remove that one for now as well. And we can remove these pipes as well. So all center pipes can be removed. Okay. And then we can go ahead and glitch the capillary shells right on those. And you want to glitch them on the bottom of the wire. If you try and glitch them on the top of the wire, they will glitch in upside down. So it's important that you glitch them on the bottom wire or the bottom connector of that wire. Let's see if I can do it right this time. There we go. Okay, and then when we're done all of that, you can sort of see on each one of these, I painted the wires right on the center of the pipe. And we can remove all these pipes now that we're done. And we can replace our floor as well. Now, if there was capillary shells in the way, I would not be able to replace my floors in this scenario, which I'll show you on the next thing up ahead. Okay, and that's a capillary shell staircase. Very easily done very quickly. 2 pipes out, paint on the inside of the second pipe, a wire from the top. The center point or the bottom of the wire should be right on the center of the pipe, and literally you just glitch them in place and remove all the piping. Okay, let's move over to this one over here. This one is a little bit more complicated, as seen in the most recent build that I made over the honey pot over in the Biulding hub. This one here is already all ready to go to replace these cylinders with glass tubes. I've already removed the pillites and got the capillary shells already attached and ready to go. And each one of them has a wire, as you can see, from the center, top, right at the top up here, to the center. And that's ready to glitch in. So now I need a different spacing to accommodate the glass corridor that's going in the center here. So you can see my distance is about a half pipe length between this one and this one. And that's accommodated by using the adjacency glitch to the paver and to the cylinder. And then removing these. So let's remove the cylinder, both of these, and replacing it with the pipe. I'll just go white so I can see what's going on. Okay, and then I can remove the cylinder. Same thing here. Adjacency glitch. So back to my cylinder, and I want to rotate it. Okay, so that way my paver goes this direction and then back to the cylinder. Okay, and that gives me that half length that I'm looking for so that I can attach a pipe to this cylinder. We can remove our paver the inside pipes, and we can put a pipe right there on that cylinder, and it's all ready to go. Now I've already pre-painted these wires right on there, and you can sort of see how I've done that. Gone from the top to the center, from the top to the center. Okay, it is important to keep them straight, but for this demonstration they're just a slightly hair crooked. Not the end of the world for this demonstration. You can get as detail oriented as you like, and do with it what you like to finish this off. So we've also got this bottom floorboard which needs to be replaced, the only way to do that is to do it before the capillary shells are put in place, because they are definitely clearly in the way, and so are these pipes. So we've already got our wires painted, and we can easily remove the pipes without fear of losing our wires. We're going to do that, and we're going to quickly throw in our flooring. There we go. Our flooring is returned. Okay. And we want to glitch these back into place. So let's find our capillary shells. And let's go orange this time. I need to get better at glitching apparently. Let's try that again. Again, we're glitching it on the bottom of the connector. There we go. Always when I'm recording. Okay, so we've got our pieces installed. All our capillary shells are up here, including these ones need to be put in place now too. So let's just install them. There we go. And we can now remove all of our piping. Always want to be careful when removing that piping, just in case you have a mishap. Luckily we have wires in place, and that way if we do make a mistake, we can always put them back. Okay, on to the next step. Let's replace this cylinder with the glass tubing. So we're going to literally just delete it. And if there were still pillites on it, I would delete those as well. You can see I've already got wires attached, and these wires are lined up perfectly to fit the cylinders. Every 2 cylinders equals 1 glass tubing, and it lines up very seamlessly that way. So you'll find that very helpful when you're creating your glass tubing. Let's put that in place. And if you want, you can put all kinds of decoration inside it as you wish, depending on what you want. But I recommend doing that before putting the glass tubing in, because once you make a mistake, if there's a wire going through and you try and delete it, you'll delete the whole glass tube and everything inside of it, which nobody likes that. So let's go ahead and put that glass tubing in. There's one. There's 2. And if we want, we can do a 3rd. There we go. Perfectly merged. If we look at that, you can see they're all perfectly merged together. And that gives us a really good glass tubing center. And our capillary shells are all there. Now the next step really on top of that is closing in our floors so that they all look nice and clean, and we can easily do that with some adjacency glitching. We can try and put floors in place, but you'll notice that they really kind of are a little bit large. So we could adjacency this way. Will it work? Okay. And you can do that all the way around, adjacency glitching up until a certain point, in which case, yeah, that should just about do it. Or you can do it the other way and use a half wall, depending on how you want to run your adjacency. If you delete that floor, you'll delete these glitches. The wires will remain intact and you can glitch back onto them again, but you can sort of see the differences in getting your floors across. You may wish to extend your floors and make them a little bit closer, but I'll leave that up to you guys for the fiddly little parts. And that is how you get your staircase to look really, really good. And that's what I did with mine. I spent a little bit more time with fiddly little things, but for the purpose of this tutorial, you get the idea of how I make these staircases. Now you'll notice I got all these wires still in place and pillites. There's an easy fix for that. There's two ways of dealing with those wires so that your build looks fantastic without all those extra superfluous wires. There is the cloaking device right here, the electrical cloaking device, and that works pretty darn good. However, there are some times where you might want to have wires showing for aesthetic looks, lighting, and so on and so forth. And so for the purpose of this, we're going to try another method. This is going to remove, I believe, this cylinder, that scaffolding, and all those pillites, all the pillites over here. It's going to remove all the wires on that staircase, and it's going to remove all the wires on this staircase, including the center wires on the center glass pillar as well. And that is using Biulding's dual base computer technique. So let's go over here and let's delete the base computer. And this is a pretty dependable way of doing things, but you have to remember to switch between base computer so that you know which components are being assigned to which base. If not, you will either delete the wrong thing or not have the right thing deleted. Either way, you have to be very tedious making sure that you assign the right components to the right base, which I've done a pretty good job of, I think, and we'll find out shortly. As you can see, some parts look like they're missing. That's very natural and normal. When you're dealing with deleting a base computer, it takes phase deletion along with it, but they're not really deleted. We're going to reload, and they're going to be all come back when we get back up there. And we're back. Okay, let's go have a look at our base. And right away you can tell that all those components that look like they were missing before are back. The reload does wonders when you've done this technique. You can see that center column is gone. I have made a slight mistake and left these floorboards under the wrong base computer, and so they have been deleted. They can be put back using another one of Biulding's methods. I'm not going to show you that today. This looks perfect. That looks perfect, except for that one wire there. Oops. And everything else looks pretty darn good. That giant spiral staircase, the grand staircase, looks great, and so does this. No wires. But remember, you must be tedious with the dual base computer technique, making sure that you assign the right components to the right base computer. And you can toggle that with when you build your second base computer simply by using the triangle button. And I would highly recommend watching Biulding's tutorial on the dual base computer technique. With that, I bid you good day, good luck, and I hope this helps you build your perfect stairs, or as close to perfect as you'd like them to be in your next build. This is Building by Eye by DG Squared. Thank you.